Hey guys, it's your host Ben, and today we are just going to be talking about the Philadelphia Eagles and how they are going to be playing the Los Angeles Rams tomorrow in the divisional round at 3 p.m. Eastern time. And I'm going to be breaking it down and just kind of giving my thoughts, and let's get into it. So to preface, I will be at this game. I was at the game last week against the Packers. Crowd was fantastic, the best NFL crowd that I've been to so far in my life, and I only expect it to be better in this game. Now, there's a couple factors for me that are just going to be at least impacting the crowd. Number one, the obvious. There is going to be a ton of snow tomorrow in the Philadelphia area. They're expecting around 2 to 4 inches. It's going to be a lot. We'll see how much that impacts the game, but it's supposed to be starting to come down about an hour or two before game time and should end just a little after the game ends. So I do think this will limit the amount of passing that is going to happen in a game like this. I think this is going to favor the running game. And I think it's just going to be one of those games where, you don't see a ton of snow games specifically in the playoffs now. So I think there's just so much to look at when we dive into this game, but I think that's going to by far be the biggest factor. Number two, strictly from, again, a crowd perspective. If Detroit loses for whatever reason tonight, I don't think they will. But if they do lose and the Eagles are playing to host the NFC Championship, that crowd is going to be on 10. That crowd is going to be on 10. I don't care how much snow is coming down. That crowd is going to be on 10. So that's something to watch out for when you are watching the game if that does occur. But that's a hypothetical, so we will see. Now, getting into the matchup, it's hard for me not to be biased here because I am a Philadelphia Eagles fan, obviously going to the game. But I just think the Eagles are a better team. We saw it at the beginning of the year, or not the beginning of the year, but the middle of the year. The Eagles beat this team by 17 points, if I remember correctly. They overall dominated the line of scrimmage, specifically the run game. Barkley had his best game of the year. Those 2 huge runs, finished for 255 and 2 touchdowns, if I remember correctly. They were even getting the passing game going as well with Jalen and A.J. Brown. So there's a lot to like about this game for the Eagles. And I just think when it comes to positional players and everything, I just think the Eagles match up better than them. The Eagles are a better team than the Rams, and it's not a bad thing to say that. I will take the Eagles offensive line over any team in the league. So I'm obviously going to take them over this Rams D line. Now, I'm going to give credit to the Rams D line. It's a bunch of dogs out there. There's not one star. It's a bunch of dogs. They had 9 sacks last week, but I'm sorry. That is not happening against this Philadelphia Eagles team. I just don't see it happening. So I have the Eagles O-line out physicaling them throughout the game. I think the Eagles receivers, even though with the snow, I think the receivers and the tight end will be able to make plays on the corners and the safeties for the defense against the Rams. And of course, it's going to be hard for them to stop Barkley. And I'm going to include Hurts in that as well with the rushing game. Both these guys are going to make plays. And I just think, again, the conditions are probably going to help the Eagles out. I think they're going to help them out. It's going to be, again, a physical game, run up, a lot of runs. And maybe it's just me being nostalgic here, but the last time we had something like this in Philadelphia, Shady McCoy went off. So I would love to see something like that with Barkley. He was due for a big run last week. He almost had it, but he took the knee because he's a classy guy. Or he went down. He didn't take a knee, but regardless. So I'm very excited for that. Now, when we focus on the Eagles' defense versus the Rams' passing game and the running game, I still think it favors the Eagles. I'm going to take the Eagles' D-line over that offensive line. It's a solid offensive line for LA, but I think the Eagles' D-line will make plays. Also, Stafford, he doesn't do very good in the snow. He just doesn't. In these weather games, he struggles. And he's struggled. I mean, it's hard to hold him accountable for that 2013 game just because that was so long ago. That was 11 years ago. But at the same time, I still have to weigh that in, the overall analysis of this game. So that's something I'm considering. Now, when it comes to their offense, Cooper Kupp really has not been a big part of their offense in general. He hasn't really made much of an impact on the game in the last, I'd say, 4 to 5 weeks at this point. It's been very Puka Nacua heavy. A lot of runs with Kyron Williams. Higbee was getting involved last week, but I think he may be injured in this one. Let me check just really quick. I think we will see. So he is expected to play. So he's going to play. But still, I just think the Eagles match up well against them. I trust this Eagles D-line. They, in my opinion, did a pretty good job against Williams last time they played. I trust these Eagles linebackers, though there is no Nakobe Dean, so that will be a positive for the Rams. And I trust this Eagles secondary. I trust them so much. The Eagles do not let up big plays. They just don't. They haven't done it all year. And I think, again, they are perfectly equipped to take Puka Nacua, not necessarily out of the game, but make it hard for him. This Rams offense what's the word? They cannot depend on solely Puka Nacua to beat this team. Because the Eagles have Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Darius Slay, Isaiah Rodgers, Reed Blankenship, Gardner Johnson. They have bodies to throw on Puka. So I think for the Rams to even have a chance to beat the Eagles in this game, I think someone else is going to have to make numerous plays. Because even if you limit what Puka's going to do, okay, who else is going to make the play? I have respect for Williams and I have respect for Cooper Kupp, but they have to show me that they can beat this defense. So again, I'm leaning the Eagles. The real concerns for me are, does the weather impact both teams to the point where it makes it a little bit more of an even playing field for the Rams? But I just don't know if that's going to be 100% just because the Rams are coming off less rest than the Eagles. They have not practiced in these conditions all week, though. This will be different tomorrow. And the Rams play inside anyways. It's not like they're used to this. So I think that's going to be a factor. I think the Rams will try to exploit the fact that there is no Nakobe Dean. But overall, I think the Eagles win this game. I think the Eagles win this game. It's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be a grinded out. I don't want to hear anything about Jalen Hurts passing unless it is atrocious tomorrow. I don't want to hear it. There's gonna be 2 to 4 inches of snow coming down. I don't care how you win the game. Just win the damn game. I'm tired of that narrative. I get it. I understand it. But at the same time, it's January, people. Are you trying to win a playoff game or are you trying to look pretty? Like that's what I'm really focused on. So I think the Eagles get it done. I think they out-physical this team. I'm sure it will be close. I'm sure it will. But I have the Eagles winning. It's going to be ugly. And I guess my only other thing is, can Jake Elliott actually, show up? Which he did show up last week. He had three field goals maybe, but he did miss the PAT. But I am just, again, concerned with the weather. But maybe you just take it in your own hands and start going for it. Regardless, we will see how things go. But I have the Birds winning this game, and I think they're going to be going to the NFC Championship. So, yeah, just wanted to make a quick little video on just previewing this game. So excited for it. So excited to be there, and it should be a blast. Go Birds, and if you enjoy this video, feel free to give it a like. If you have any comments, drop them down below. If you like this type of content, feel free to subscribe. Peace, guys.